Okay, everybody, the Royal Rumble is right around that corner. And, like everybody else, all trying to figure out and guess who is going to be basically the winner of the Royal Rumble. Now, with the men's, I was like, look, there's really only like a few couple guys. I know I just said a few couple, like that made it sound like there was like a actually, would that be a plethora? Anyway, getting it boggled down on something else. But there's only like a couple that really actually have a chance realistically. And then from there, I think there's even a smaller amount that you can actually see winning the whole thing if we're just going off of this. So let's just start out with a little bit of fun. Of I feel outside chances, because I was like they're not going to win, but I could see a case, especially I want to say if you want to say something early this year. My thinking is like Damian Priest. I know he's sort of been on a downslide basically ever since the Terror Twins broke up, and he kept on getting this in and out thing with Finn and whatnot. But I do think that he does have from his Money in the Bank cash in and a couple of his tries and stuff like that he did rise up, song not included, to basically show that he could be in the main event situations. And I was like, even though he is a little bit down of like in a sort of way, I do think that with the Rumble, if he was to win it, it wouldn't be something too crazy. It'd be something where like we would shake our heads, scratch it a bit, look to your left, look to your right, try to figure it out. But it also wouldn't seem something that was like that you'd be like, okay, we'll see how this kind of goes, kind of thing. I just wanted to just start doing just something like that fun because I was like, once we get toward the end, we're going to sort of know who's here. But I was like, I just do think that I was like, Priest is somebody that I was like, I was like, he get in, like I said, him be getting in the cashing in and him being in all the main event matches, especially now. That I was like, now he is somebody at the level of upper mid card to you could throw him into a world championship match. And depending on the story or the person, you actually do sort of believe if he can win it or not. And I don't think you could say that same with a lot of the other guys that's going to really be in the Rumble, to be honest. And I was like, that what sort of separates me. Have them to get separated to me versus a lot of other people is that you can't say if I throw this person into the main event match that you will think that there's a 5% chance they could win this, or the story dictates that's like they could give them the championship. So now with the next one, I was thinking of, I was like they wouldn't do it because once again, I was like because of we already know who the culprit is going to be. But to me, if you did just wanted to put a jetpack on the guy and just shoot him to the moon, it'd be Penta. Penta I was like, he just got here, so it would be out of left field for him to basically be in this situation. But in only two matches, I was like his presentation, how it has gone about of him being teased when he was on his way to WWE. I was like, plus you got enough people that sort of know him outside of WWE that you can instantly like, he already sort of has the appeal of a top star. And while yes, he hasn't been on the roster long enough to interact with any of the people that have championships, I was like, there's no doubt in my mind that I was like, well, he already know Cody and stuff like that from that time in AEW, and I was like, if he had to face it against Gunther, who wouldn't also want to see that type of match either? So, but what bigger way to basically give the seal of approval of a star than to basically win the Rumble and then show up at WrestleMania to face either one of these guys? Now, like I said, he just got here, so that wouldn't happen. Also, I feel like it would be a disservice to whatever story narrative that they're willing to go and the people that's involved as well too, that somebody who is so hot coming in, as far as I was like, and I mean by like hot meaning like they just came in literally. that was sort of that would just rub. I feel like a bunch of people kind of the wrong way in that sense. So I was like, that's also would be an outside chance of that happening. Um, Now I was like, now we're sort of starting to get into the people who I think have a good. I was like, you could see it, but I doubt it. And I was like, Jay Uso, just because one, I was like his recent coming off of a loss to Gunther, and I was like, and just sort of being in all these matches that where it's just kind of like he's there, he's not there, he's there, he's there. Where it's just like he done faced Gunther 3 times, lost. So it's like you could write a story that's like, hey, wins the Rumble, he's going after Gunther, biggest stage of them all. This is the time that he basically takes the championship off Gunther. And if it would be at WrestleMania, that would be the time that I really feel like they would actually let him win the championship off of that. And I could see that being the case if that was it. Because I was like, that would be actually be the main event, the time to give it to him. But I just also don't know if, like I said, that him losing to Gunther, while that was like that match was just sort of just made out of nowhere. It really had sort of a sort of build. And then him on Monday just basically coming out and just really just kind of just doing his whole thing. I was like, it's not that I'm saying I'm over him or anything. What I'm saying is that I'm like, it just doesn't feel the same way, and it felt in a way that I feel good about just being like I said, it wouldn't shock me, it wouldn't throw me off. I was like, I'd be more elated about it because I was like, okay, he won the big one. We know how this. I was like, even though we know how this might go at WrestleMania, it's like, oh, okay, this might be actually his time. But I was like, he just ain't really been. He's been main event Uso without actually being main event. If you get what I'm saying, I feel like he's a little bit on a little bit of the downside of as well, to where I just don't feel the same way. And going with that, I was like, I'm also going to throw in Kevin Owens. Mainly because I think he's going to lose at Ladder War. Spoilers for my prediction. But I was just thinking, if he did get in, he's not winning at all. I was like, he got his chance. I was like, he done basically 0-2. I was like, that'll be a wrap. It'd be something cool or something nice that I feel like the fans will like, that he basically win in the Royal Rumble and was able to win. But I don't think it will be something that I was like actually is plausible. I don't think that he actually would be in a spot to actually win it. I was like, I think that after this story's done, he's going to go off and do something else, either with Sammy or something like that, and we're going to sort of call it a day in that aspect. Okay, and so I don't know about Kevin Owens. Also, I was like, I'm gonna throw in this spot right here, because now it's starting to get basically down to the people that we sort of know of who gonna have a chance. All right, so Seth Rollins is sort of also in this spot as well, just because, like Kevin Owens, I was like, it could be. It's like I think it would. I think it wouldn't get the pop like Kevin Owens or even Jey Uso, but I do think that it would get a pop from the thought of how it wrecks everybody else's stuff. Like it'll mess up CM Punk. I was like, I was like, Gunther came out and approached him, so it was like, oh, okay, cool. We're gonna get that Gunther match. Could it be where he gets his licks back against Cody Rhodes, where it's like, because he talked about that as well too, where it's like, oh, he sort of gets back at Cody. Well, he didn't talk about getting his licks back at Cody Rhodes. That's me talking about, because he done lost to Cody 3 times. But he did say, could I get the match against Cody that basically say, I helped you out, so it'd be sort of poetic that I would take the title off of you after you took it off of Roman. But I was like, and also I was like, I don't believe Seth has. Yeah, he hasn't won the Rumble, so I think that would be a little bit of an accolade as well too, because I was like, we have sort of seen giving, at least I'll say on the women's side. On the women's side, they have rewarded tenure with giving them the Rumble win. I was like, we haven't really necessarily been in the spot to do that for the men's, but I was like, but at the same time, now this would make a little bit more sense maybe if Roman had the title or something like that. But Seth got a case for both championships to where if this happened, I was like, it wouldn't be out of norm, or I mean, it wouldn't be out of something that would, like I said, would be so crazy with this. Do I see it actually happening? No, because I really feel like Seth is really going to be, his story is really going to be a thorn in everybody's side, kind of thing, almost like how Drew is and stuff like that. That I don't really see him coming in and winning. That's not the story. That's not his path. I'll put it like that. Next, I was like, I think Cena. And I don't think that is. I was like, I don't see him winning. I know some people got him as winning, and yeah, he could go to WrestleMania and win his neck. I was like, win the championship and break it, and then we could start the long year of Cena or whatever like that as champion. We could have him go to WrestleMania, lose as well, or he just lose straight up at the Rumble. To me, I think he loses at the Rumble. I was like, he's supposed to be at the Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania and all these other spots. He's going to at least be at the pay-per-views. Then I'm like, so what would he be doing at the Elimination Chamber if he already won at the Rumble? Is he just there on like a Waller effect or something like that? I don't know. Probably not. So why would he? I was like, to me, I don't think it makes. I was like, I'm not going to say it doesn't make any sense. It does make sense. I just gave you some of the reasons why, that if he wins here and what he could do at WrestleMania and his two options there. But to me, I was like, I think that would just be a little bit too much on the easy road of him being at the Rumble and then winning it all and automatically just already at the spot at WrestleMania. Now, that doesn't mean that he still won't be at WrestleMania, that he couldn't, through the Elimination Chamber. That doesn't mean that. I was like, it's just that the Royal Rumble, that I was like, I think that his performance would be that, say he comes in at 14 and he lasts all the way down to the last 6 or something like that, and then he gets chucked out. That's how I sort of see it. I was like, that way they can sort of play with, he can still do this, but not all the way. Just, maybe he should gotta knock off a little bit of his ring rust or something like that. But I was like, I give him. I was like, you gotta have him in the odds of at least winning. Then I was like, you also got Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns, it's sort of difficult in that sense as well too, because could he? And then we get Cody 3. I was like, he's not facing Gunther. So that's sort of where you're at. And cool. I was like, yeah, he could be, I was like, Cody, Roman. I don't think that would be a bad one. I was like, I do think at some point they would do the trilogy. I don't know if they would do that here, where it'd be 3 years in a row we're going to get Cody or Roman. And I was like, I think just almost like how the Chiefs can keep winning, that people will probably be tired of that. And you don't want to have fatigue with either one of the two just yet. So I don't think they would go with the Roman route as who the champions are now. And also, I also think too, you might also want Roman Reigns in the Elimination Chamber. Something about having the Tribal Chief in the Elimination Chamber, where he's also trying to again, establish himself as your Tribal Chief, as the man on top. Why not also put him in the Elimination Chamber? So I can see that as well. But I was like, as of right now, I was like, see, the problem is that if he doesn't win, he doesn't get his spot at WrestleMania, as far as the championship goes, what is he doing? I think it's some of the side conversation that you got to have as well with figuring out who's going to win here. And then pretty much at the end, you got Drew McIntyre and you got CM Punk. So it seems like it's all evidence is sort of pointing to CM Punk being the guy. I was like, the only reason I say Drew, I was like, the only thing I can think about Drew is the fact that, one, I think CM Punk winning the championship, I was like, hey, he done already talked about fighting Gunther for the championship, and he has confronted Cody already. So therefore, he has also established himself for both championships. And Cody versus CM Punk, I think that would be a big draw. I was like, Gunther versus Punk, I think that would be a really good match, but it's not the same draw as the other two. And also, his favorite that he sort of has still alluded to, that is still in his back pocket, but hasn't really been used yet. That's still there, and I was like, yes, they could just drop it. But at the same time, what if he wins as a Rumble? What's really the point of whatever's in his back pocket? What would that be used for later on? So now the case I make for Drew is the fact that he has for the last couple years put in a lot of work, whether that be getting shafted twice at his hometown, or around in his home country. I was like, his turnaround of being like the guy to take down the bloodline to the guy that's taking down the people, all the way to taking down the bloodline in a different way, from basically good to bad, and also the whole story of basically, like, yes, I know he technically got his WrestleMania moment last year that was squandered in 5 minutes once him and CM Punk had beef and Damian Priest cashed in on him. But I could see this as basically giving him his reward for his long being a good champ. Not actual champ, but like a good partner with all these stories where he's getting shafted and hosed and losing and stuff like that. And this is his big reward. And also, who's one of the people that he sort of wants? I was like, yes, he's like he said, Roman. He know Roman coming, but take out Cody. Cody, you sort of the one that sort of started this whole thing of Roman Reigns getting back up. You get what I'm saying. So, and also I can feel like could be just a redo of letting him, like win the Rumble, and then he actually gets a shot at the championship at WrestleMania, and that's it. You ain't got to worry about nothing else. It's just gonna be straight up. I was like, but I feel like Drew is just gonna get really close to the point, and he's end up gonna lose in some form or fashion. Where I just think him and Seth is going to basically lose this out to CM Punk, because it gives both of them the motive to keep on chugging along and keep on trying to poke at CM. I was like, it gets something for them to chase after more so than the other way around. Because CM Punk just loses, I was like, he going to the championship. He's not really caring about them as like their side quest as they are, with their main quest really just being to annoy CM Punk and making sure he doesn't make it. Anyway, those are just some of the people. I was like, those are obviously the people and the reasons why I guess each one of them can or should win the Royal Rumble or whatever. Like I said, we already know who basically, I want to say the 4 or 5 guy that we all sort of know or believe in some form is going to be the Rumble winner. It all just depends on who is really going to get the shot to go to WrestleMania. And I was like, but not just that. I was like, how everybody else connects off of that, what it weaves off of that, because a lot of the people in that last bunch are all connected. So who wins give the better story for everybody. I think it's sort of what we're gonna go here. Cena, I think, got the weakest case of him winning, how it affects everybody, whereas any one of the other people winning, Roman winning, now guess what? Drew and all them are mad that he got power again. I was like, CM Punk. Now Seth and Drew is also at the point of being mad. I was like, Seth winning, if he can stop CM Punk, I was like, then guess what? That can annoy CM Punk, and all this other stuff. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna throw Sammy in there, and I was like, Sammy ain't got no shot at winning. Anyway, who y'all think it should? I was like, not necessarily who should win, but who would y'all pick to win the Royal Rumble? I think that's a different question, because I was like I said, I would pick Penta. Why not? Strap a rocket to him. Everybody else don't need. They already got stories. Damn it. Anyway, let me know what y'all think. Till then, peace. I'm out.